For a long time now, sports anime have been a hugely popular genre, with many different iterations of popular sports. Haikyuu, Hajime no Ippo, Kuroko no Basket, to name a few, are some of the biggest animes ever. I, myself, since the days of Prince of Tennis, have always held a love for this genre. But for a while now, the genre has felt a bit stagnant, with similar shows coming out each year and little originality in them. But coming soon is a sports anime that might change the genre as a whole, and that show is called Blue Lock. Football or soccer is one of the most played and most watched sports in the world, so it goes without question that there have been many anime based around it. From the likes of Inazuma 11 to Night in the Area, football has been a mainstay in the genre for a long time. But with that comes overused stereotypes and predictable storylines. The idea of friendship and teamwork is a theme that has been used over and over again in many different shows. But Blue Lock throws this completely out of the window, and is a refreshing new entry into the genre. Take your generic shonen soccer manga and combine it with a thrilling battle action story, and out comes Blue Lock. The story picks up after Japan's many failures on the international stage. Over the years, there has been little to no progress in the sport, and unrest is building in the Japanese football community. This all changes when a new trainer, Jinpachi Igo, is hired, who devises a strange yet rigorous plan to bring Japan to international glory. He takes the 300 best young football players in the country and sends them to a state-of-the-art training facility where they are whittled down to produce the perfect striker. Because the number one rule of football is whoever scores the most wins. Now right out of the gate, Blue Lock is different from any other football anime. It hooks you really well with a plot that you just don't really see in sports anime nowadays. The potential is immense, and it doesn't revolve around high school, which is an added benefit. You can forget that stereotype right away, something most of us have grown tired of with the many different shows. Instead, it focuses deeply on the individual players and how they are going to improve. Sure, there are teams, this is a team sport after all, but with the rankings of each player and individual performances the focus of the story, it feels so much more different and exciting compared to other stories. At Blue Lock, each player is fighting to be the best, the number one, but only one person can be, with dire consequences for those who fail. The people who don't pass will be banned from ever joining the national team, creating an emotional roller coaster, making me invested in every single character, gripping me when their hopes and dreams are crushed. The show carries this intensity throughout the series, allowing for a lot of character development with room for the author to explore backstories and motivations of each player. And even though they all play the same position, there are still distinctions between different players. Each character feels unique, with differing ideas about football, and this is all translated into their playing style. And it's the characters themselves that I think makes Blue Lock different from other stories. And to really show this, I'm going to talk about a couple of characters that really stuck out to me. This is a spoiler warning for the show, and for anyone who hasn't read the manga. I'll be speaking about some of the characters and their motivations. If you don't want to be spoiled, skip on to later in the video. Blue Lock centers around Isagi Yoichi as our main character, who played as a striker for his high school team. The story starts off in his prefecture finals, where he has a decision to make. Either take a risky shot to score the winning goal, or take the safer option to pass to his teammate. Now for Isagi, the obvious answer was to pass, and so he did. But his teammate misses, and they end up losing that match, missing out on going to nationals. This was painful to Isagi, that moment playing back in his head again and again, and it's at this stage where he receives an invitation to Blue Lock. Isagi is a naturally easygoing guy who can get on with most people, and his friendly, cheery personality is well suited to a team sport like football. But Blue Lock flips Isagi's view of football upside down. Here he is taught to embrace his ego and crush everyone, including his teammates. And initially, Isagi is very unsure of this chaotic ideology, which conflicted with his own ideas of football, and unsure in himself being the lowest ranked player in Blue Lock. But this slowly changes as the program continues, something that we'll notice with a lot of the characters. Isagi's uncertainty slowly develops into confidence and charisma, with a more dominant presence on and off the field. The challenges and barriers Isagi faces at Blue Lock help to mold him into a cold and ruthless striker, willing to step on the plans and dreams of his opponents and teammates in order to score a goal and go further in Blue Lock. He becomes ambitious and calculated, trying to stay a step ahead of everyone to become the world's best striker. Chigiri is another player who caught my interest very quickly. When Chigiri was young, he was very proud of his skill in football. From a very young age, he had always been much stronger, faster and technically gifted than his peers, and with his accomplishments, his pride grew even more. But this all came crumbling down when he tore his ACL. Slowly, his sense of superiority collapsed to a point where he became afraid of playing football, at each stage trying to find a reason to quit rather than chase his dream. Blue Lock helps Chigiri retake his old ego and ambition, developing him into a person who strives towards his dreams. Now the last character that caught my eye, who I'll be talking about, is Nagi. Nagi is an unnaturally talented football player with amazing reflexes, speed and skills. But initially he is indifferent to becoming the best. Instead of putting in the effort of training, he'd rather goof off and play video games. He's so good that to him football became boring. And at Blue Lock that doesn't really change because the challenges were so easy to him. That is until he loses for the first time. This is a huge shock to him and this starts a fire in him, making him strive to improve, score goals on his own, developing his character, something that excited me. This is what Blue Lock does better than other anime. Football is only the backdrop for the main story. What matters most is the development and progression of each of the characters. But don't let that take away from the fact that Blue Lock has amazing art. The way the metaphors are shown and depicted just enhances even the most simplest of moves. This is where the true battle action elements come front and center, making the sport so much more exciting. Sure, at certain points it may be far removed from reality, like Kuroko no Basket, but in a medium like anime, who really cares how realistic it is? Blue Lock takes an unconventional approach to the sports anime genre. It stands out for its characters and psychology, and unlike other stories, I felt a real danger for these characters. Everyone is disposable, so there's always an overarching sense of suspense. And I think this is why Blue Lock will change the genre as a whole. It was able to grab me from its first chapter, leaving me wanting more. If you're looking for something different than your usual sports anime, you should definitely give Blue Lock a shot. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.